Okay, so for today's deep dive, we're not looking at a battle or a political treaty. We're looking at a single piece of technology.
The deceptively simple one, really.
Exactly. The invention of glassblowing in the first century BCE. And it's just this perfect model for understanding how one clever idea can completely disrupt a society.
It is. And we're going to focus on three things for you today. First, the technical jump itself. Second, the very specific problems it solved. And third, the huge societal impact that followed.
So where does this story even begin?
It all kicks off in the Syro-Palestine region, around 50 BCE, right at this intersection between the expanding Roman world and the Parthian East.
So before this big breakthrough, what was the process like? I understand it was something called core forming.
That's right. And it was,
That's right.
well, it was painfully slow.
How slow are we talking?
We're talking hours for a single small vessel. You had to physically wrap molten glass around a clay core. Yeah. And the results were tiny, rarely bigger than 10 centimeters high. And the walls were always thick and uneven. It was a luxury good for a reason.
And then comes the aha moment. Free blowing. This is the big leap.
This is the leap. Someone realizes glass has this amazing quality of expansibility.
That you can inflate it, like a balloon.
Exactly like a balloon. Instead of adding material from the outside, you're expanding it from the inside with air through a tube. It's a total conceptual shift.
That the efficiency must have just skyrocketed.
Oh, completely. An artisan could now make a simple vessel in minutes, not hours. It opened the door for larger containers, more complex shapes, and crucially, thinner, more transparent walls.
But speed is one thing. To create a real industry, you need standardization, right?
You do. And that's the next step. Mold blowing. This appears a little later, maybe around 10 to 30 CE, possibly out of Sidon.
And this is the real business innovation.
This is the business innovation, absolutely. By blowing the hot glass into a pre-made mold, you could suddenly produce thousands of items that were all exactly the same.
Which means you can standardize volume.
Yes, and that's huge. If a jar always holds exactly one sextarius, you can build reliable commerce around it. You can standardize trade, shipping, taxes, even medical doses.
It's the infrastructure of a modern economy, really.
It is. And we see artisans like Enyon even signing their work, their mold-blown cups. It's like the birth of brand consciousness in mass production.
So how quickly did this change everyday life for the average Roman?
Almost immediately. Glass goes from being this rare treasure to a common household item. We find it in ordinary homes all over the empire, in places like Pompeii.
And it solved problems other materials couldn't.
It really did. Take storage. Glass is chemically neutral, so it doesn't contaminate food or medicine.
Which is critical in a hot climate, I'd imagine.
It's a game changer for reducing spoilage, plus it's airtight and transparent, perfect for cosmetics, oils, wine, anything you want to keep fresh.
And it didn't stop at containers.
No. We start to see glass lamps, which are so much cleaner and safer than open flames. And then even the very first rough versions of window panes begin to appear.
Letting light into a building while keeping the elements out, that's a fundamental change to architecture.
A huge one. And this whole new industry created this massive economic ripple effect. It drove mining for sand, logging for fuel, and transport across the Mediterranean. It was one of the first truly globalized industrial products.
So to sum it up, this wasn't just a new trick with glass.
Not at all. It was a complete pivot in thinking. From treating glass like a solid you add to seeing it as a fluid you can expand. That's the core insight.
And what's fascinating is how that ancient principle is still so central to our world.
It is. The idea that you need cheap, uniform, transparent material to advance human knowledge. That paves the way for everything. For test tubes in a lab, for lenses in a telescope.
So here's a thought to leave you with. The next time you look through a microscope, or even just your own eyeglasses, remember that you are observing the world through a direct descendant of that manufacturing breakthrough from 50 BCE.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other simple tools are shaping your view of the universe right now?